Listen, let me tell you something, man. That's the hottest thing on Netflix right now. Highly anticipated. Season 5, Cobra Kai. It's available on Netflix right now. You saw that? And listen, man, I was a huge fan of the Karate Kid. We had Ralph on the show before, DB. Who else we had from the original Karate Kid on the show before?
We had Martin Cove, who's the longtime villain of the Karate Kid franchise. But, we love all the guys. We've had Ralph Macchio up here plenty of times. And, with us today is the guy who was introduced. I like to think of him as the new Daniel LaRusso. The way he was introduced in the show and living next door to Johnny and everything, it was a very cool sort of like tie-in back to the original Karate Kid. And, Sway, you've apparently known this guy since he was introduced to the world, basically. Not on screen, but in real life.
I'm showing everybody in the room a picture of this young man. I don't even know how old you were on this picture.
As far as I know, I was in, the studio on like day 3 of being in this planet.
Yeah.
So this could be anywhere from like 0 years old to 3. But no, it's my mom.
Yes. Carmelita Sanchez,
you guys.
a.k.a. Crumb. First of all, we got to welcome my nephew here, Xolo Maridueña.
Yeah, okay.
Did I do that right?
Yeah. Xolo Maridueña. Yeah.
Maridueña.
Not marijuana.
I know.
You need the finger roll, too.
Yeah. Maridueña.
Maridueña.
Dueña.
Yes.
Okay. Xolo is... This young man has made my partner, King Tech, and I extremely proud. We've had so many full circle moments, and it's got to be weird for a kid when their parents, friends, and, have this affinity towards them. And he's been very generous in accepting and embracing it. He doesn't really know. I don't know, but he's gone along with it really well. His mother, citizens, if you watch Cobra Kai, is my sister. She's King Tech's sister. And when we first came down to L.A., before we even moved to L.A., his mother, Carmelita, used to take care of us. So before I even knew your mother, I remember one of the first times I met your mother, we were coming down to L.A. for a Far Side party. And we weren't L.A. yet. We came down from the Bay, and I remember waiting in the line like, man, we know nobody here. Like, you know what I mean? Okay. It's L.A. We're going to be waiting in this line a long time. And your mother, who was running whatever event that was, came down and said, hey, come here, follow me. You know how your mother is. And we was like, okay, we just did it.
Her voice is powerful.
Her voice is powerful.
She speaks in command tongues.
Doesn't she?
Okay, I guess I'm moving.
You got to do it. You can't tell her no. And she got us in the club. Small gestures with me stick forever.
That's true.
And she said, I know who you are, which was big for us because we were coming into a new marketplace. We didn't know who knew us. And I got you. I got your back. From that moment on, your mother and King Tech and I decided to join forces. And this is how it all started, right? And we had our syndicated show, the world famous Wake Up Show, which is the hugest show of its time, Vanguard in the space.
Yes.
And your mother coordinated everything for 2 rambunctious young men who didn't know how to, organize. Your mother kept us organized, and your mother became the first co-host we ever took on, woman co-host that we ever took on. But your mother is a pillar in the community of L.A. and its hip-hop scene. Her activism has been impeccable. She's been on the front lines. She stands up for women's rights. She stands up for Latino rights.
She stands up for everybody.
Everybody rights, and she's been in the front lines forever. So I want to say salute to your mother, Carmelita Sanchez.
Carmelita. We all her sons.
All her sons.
Right.
It's her world.
It's her world. And I know you and your pops and King Tech went to see the Wu-Tang Clan last week, right? And so I want to welcome you to the show, man. Come on, man.
Thank you for having me. I've seen many interviews in this room, many 5 Fingers of Death. Here. So I'm really happy to be here. And no, not now. Not now. I was thinking about it the whole way here. I was like,
you brought it up.
That's the chair.
I was like, I know. Next time I come in here.
You seen how many interviews happen? How many magic moments happen in that chair? You don't want to make one?
Hey, I've seen it. Okay. No, not today.
Not today?
No.
I know your mother told you I was going to ask you to rap.
She did. I was like, I hope he does it because I'm not ready. I'm too nervous. I don't know. But I'm so grateful that you guys are having me and really appreciative that you guys are welcoming me. I'm out here in
this
New York.
is cool. Come on, man. Xolo, you are here, man. Last time you were out, well, I don't know if it was the last time you were here, but last time we saw each other, we went to lunch and we had a beautiful conversation. Couldn't take my eyes off you. I was amazed at the amazing person that you've evolved to become. And one of the things you talked about, I'm trying to, because I've had some experience in the spotlight, you know, that celebrity world is, you know, I always ask people how they transition to it. You made an interesting point that your visibility started to rise during the pandemic. Yeah. But we're way beyond quarantine, right? And so how have you adjusted to people just knowing your face everywhere you go?
I mean, I'm blessed with long hair and I'm blind, so I usually wear glasses and I have some facial hair, so I'm pretty incognito when I'm out and about. But I lead a pretty normal life. You know, I have my best friends, you know, at home with me. I got
Tony and Anthony.
Tony and Anthony. They're going to freak out.
What up, Tony and Anthony?
Tony and Anthony. What up, baby?
Which is kind of like the same name. Are they both really named Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're both named Anthony, but we can't say Anthony. Right. So one turned into Tony.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what happens is your friends become famous too. Have they felt it?
You know, look, we're very blessed that we stay pretty low key. Okay. And I don't know, that whole side of things came in after we all became friends, you know, and that really goes for all of my friends. So that's not really ever meant anything to them, or I'm really appreciative that they're like, yeah, we don't care about that.
Staying grounded.
Yeah. They're like, we like watching movies with you. So, but no, not really.
Not really?
No, I don't think so.
I'm curious, your mom, you know, your mom is a very prideful person, man. Very intelligent, strong-willed person. I wonder how much of that rubbed off on you being, you know, taking on these roles you're taking on as a Latin man. You know, do you feel a certain level of responsibility?
Yeah, I think, you know, my mom and my dad both instilled really conscious values, I'd say, especially when it comes to things like culture. And as I was heading into this acting world, both of my parents were pretty good about massaging in understanding that as an actor, and especially as a person of color and someone who is representing what people perceive your community to be, that there is a responsibility that takes place when it comes to what types of roles you want to portray, what messages you're deciding to throw out into the world. For a lot of people, especially in these industries, the music industry, the acting industry, the window of time is so brief that you have the mic in your hand or the, you know, your face on the screen, that you have to not necessarily capitalize it, but you have to know that hey, you have this opportunity to do as much good as possible. And my mom is a big, you know, that's to this day, she's a workaholic, dude. Every single day it's something else. She has a full-time job and also rescues every single puppy that she sees on the side of the street.
That's your mom.
Anywhere we go. Yes. I'm like, what, you know.
That's your mom.
But and surely it rubbed off. Yeah. You know, she raised me, you know, my family, they really did such a great job supporting me, so that definitely rubs off. And I think now that I've gotten a bit older, you know, I'm 21 now, I've been able to incorporate more of my own personality into there and figure out okay, what parts, you know, even though seemingly my family is perfect and this and that, or not perfect, but they check a lot of the boxes, which things do I want to change around? And that's just adulting, right?
You're 21 now, bro?
21.
That's when he said that, I paused right there. Damn, you're 21.
21.
Yikes. Kiyomi, my daughter's 24. Wow.
Yeah.
Something's happening. DB, go ahead. Something's happening.
It's called life.
Life? Is that what this is?
Time.
Yeah, so Xolo, I was actually at the premiere when first season launched, and it originally,
Tribeca.
yeah, I was at the theater. They gave out those Cobra Kai reversible headbands and everything. Yeah, so it was great seeing all these characters come back to life. And I'd like to reserve judgment whenever I see something revisiting a classic film or a TV series, and then make my decision after I've seen it. But after I've seen it and seeing how they bring back all these characters little by little, it was like hitting all the check marks for me as far as a fan of the original franchise. What I wanted to ask is, because it started as a YouTube Red series, and then after season 3 moved over to Netflix, did you guys feel a little bit more comfortable having a bigger budget and like a little bit more room to play with moving over to Netflix?
Great question, and thank you for the kind words. I think coming from YouTube Red, they had announced after we had finished filming season 3, hey, I don't think we're gonna move forward with this. We don't really want to stay in the scripted space. We want to move more to the reality type stuff, so you guys can kind of shop it around. And all of these other companies are thinking, I mean, look, if these guys can make a kick-ass show with this budget, why would we give them more money? There were certain things, obviously, that moved around and that got upgraded, but, the crew, everyone was the same, so it felt like it was the same show. I'm sure behind the scenes there were things that, like, renegotiations that happened and whatnot. But I think the biggest change was that now there was really an expectation for the show. We had a cult fan base, when we were on YouTube Red, and those fans that went out and got the subscription to YouTube and did this and this, you could tell that they were really fans of the Karate Kid, and that made the support feel intense because these guys are diehard fans of Daniel LaRusso or Miyagi or these types of things. But when it hit Netflix, then it was really like people in all over the world were interested in the show. And I think that's kind of the biggest change, was being like, oh, snap. Brazil knows my name. You're like
Ecuador.
Exactly. Yeah. My character's Ecuadorian. Like, there's I think that was the biggest change.
Got it.
Xolo is here. Maridueña.
Hey, there you go.
Nice.
Y'all better stop playing with me, Mike. You like
You know
that?
what?
It's
great.
Heather, you want to ask him something?
I do, Xolo. Thank you. Welcome again to the show. So Sway talked about your mom in particular. You spoke about your parents. Does it help as an artist having strong roots, a foundation at home, where you don't have to take roles that you're really not proud of, because we were speaking to Viola Davis a couple weeks ago for the Woman King, and she was saying most actors would be happy to get like a commercial because it's so hard to book a job and get a job. But you said your mom mentioned about being proud and being prideful and being a role model, if you will. Are you conflicted at times, or does it help having your mom's voice in the back of your head saying, be careful what you put out there, be careful what you take? But as an artist, you want to work.
Yeah.
And so you ever conflicted?
I think at the beginning I was a little conflicted, or not necessarily conflicted, but as a youth, it's harder to have an understanding of what these opportunities mean, or what you're presenting yourself as. For example, there was an audition that I had for this really, really big project. I was super excited about it, and the casting person had said they wanted an East LA accent, and I'm from East LA, born and raised. I've lived there almost my whole life, and I don't sound like some of these caricatures that we see in the cartoons or whatnot. And where am I trying to go out with this? The casting director had said, hey, we want you to kind of sound more along the lines of Speedy Gonzalez. Like, that's what we're looking for. And this is, granted, this was 10 years ago. The industry has really changed since then. But I had no register, no like constitution for what that meant. Like, where that came from when this person said this, what that actually meant, whether or not the person, meant it in that way. But I remember being so broken up about it, the fact that I didn't get this role, because I was like, damn it, like I really wanted this. And I remember telling my mom about it. She was like, what?
What'd she say? What Carmelita say?
She was like, what? Like I had never, I think moments like these make me realize, like, I still have a lot to learn. But everything happens for a reason, and B, the point of I'm fortunate enough right now that I don't necessarily. I'm still 21. I live with my family. I have a really strong support system, thank goodness, and the necessity to pay bills or these types of things weren't really in the question at first. Now I'm kind of growing up and becoming more independent and starting doing things on my own. So now I'm like, well, shit. If I want to kind of make some change. Yeah. But that never really was. It was all just for fun at first. And I think that is really what helped nurture me really wanting to do this, is that it never was, my parents weren't trying to live vicariously through me. There wasn't a need to be the breadwinner of the house. So it was really just more about, hey, this is something that I'm interested in. Let me nurture this passion.
Go down that road.
Okay, man. Xolo is here. You know him from Cobra Kai. Trace, you want to ask him a question?
Yeah, I'm curious, Xolo, because you're 21, but you're so well-spoken and you have such big dreams.
Thank you.
I'm curious. You're very welcome. In Hollywood, do you feel like your opinion is embraced by some of those folks behind the scenes? Because, every time there's a new generation, particularly in Gen Z, you see all these think pieces, and it's like, oh, you're defiant, blah, 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 blah. But also, your age can definitely be an asset to you. Do people listen to 21-year-olds in Hollywood?
I think it depends on the conversations you're in. And especially, I feel like there's a really large group of Hollywood that's still, I don't know, maybe this sounds controversial, and I hope I don't sound like I'm being disrespectful here, but like a more traditional way of thinking, even when it comes to things like what type of content is being out there.
Right.
I think some of the more progressive and more aggressive when it comes to switching things up and being disruptive and making new content, those conversations sometimes I feel like maybe my mind melds a little bit better with.
Yeah.
But overall, I'd say I'm really appreciative to be alive at this time right now. Yeah. There's so much change happening, and it's really easy to say, like, oh, everything is the worst. And I think when you look at the history of things, yes, we're really far from where we need to be and where we should be as whatever you identify as, because chances are there's like room to be had or work to be done. But at the same time, the conversations that my voice is being heard in right now probably wouldn't have been the case 5, 10, 15 years ago, and definitely not before that. So, I am like my voice is being heard, and it's kind of weird, and sometimes it is a little surreal to be like, gosh, snap, I better think about this now. But you having fun, I'm a homebody. I'm like running these conversations in my head all the time. I love talking about these types of things. And
okay, good. Because I don't want you to feel like we just, this is, we putting too much on you.
Oh, no.
You're my nephew. I'm gonna make sure you're okay, man.
All right, okay. I'm ready to go as deep as whatever we want to get into.
Okay, then Mike, hit him with one. Mike Muse.
That's funny. Just since your conversation, I find it very fascinating. And you said something that stuck with me, and you used the word change. I'm just curious, what does change look like for you that you would like to pursue if you thought about it? Because I'm getting to know you, your mother through you and Sway's conversation. She seems to be an activist in her own regard, but sometimes a child's activism platform isn't the same as their parents' platform. And so I'm just curious for you, what are you looking at when you use the word change in a recent conversation?
I think, in that context, I was talking about like change in my pocket. Like I would like a little change in my pocket.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I thought you were talking about change as in the narrative. I didn't know about.
But there are changes that I do want to make. I think being kind of in the position that I'm in right now, my goals right now are to open as many doors as possible to, not only the people that helped me get to the position that I'm in, but also just anybody trying to get into this industry. I mean, I've lived in Los Angeles my whole life, but Hollywood feels so distant to so many youth, adults in California, Los Angeles, around the world, even more so, because then you're like, oh shit, now I'm not even in Los Angeles, but being able to open the door to as many people as possible, I think, is my goal as it stands right now. It's not to be the biggest actor ever or make the most money or work with these people. I think those are all things that are a byproduct of working hard and being in the right place at the right time and who you know and whatnot. But getting to show people on screen like, hey, you can do this as well. I look like you. I come from a similar background as you. That I think is where the real change is made. And then on top of that, I think the people in positions of power at these, record labels, at these production companies, at these people making big decisions, those people need to be more representative of, the communities that they're trying to reach out to. So I think if I can make any change in those two places, then I've done a pretty good job. And my mom will then be proud of me.
Yeah. Then be proud of you, right?
Yeah, she's like, why are you not doing more? Why are you not working harder? I'm like, Ma, it's Saturday.
Yo.
Let me sleep in.
She's something else, man. Hey, man, I'm really proud of you, man. This young man, a round of applause.
Thank you.
It's different talking to you. We had a full circle moment. We were very instrumental in the Wu-Tang Clan's success early on. Steve Rifkin, King Tech convinced Steve Rifkin to move the Wu-Tang Clan to Northern California so we could be a part of the promotion and marketing when it wasn't really connecting outside of New York. And they actually did it, packed their bags, moved to Northern California, and from there we promoted and marketed them down the West Coast into L.A. And it's one of the reasons why our relationship with RZA is so close. It's one of the reasons why King Tech is the music supervisor on the Wu-Tang Clan saga that plays on Hulu. And we had a full circle moment because none of those things we were doing back then couldn't happen like they did without your mom. And so when this happened, RZA wanted to incorporate a scene that portrayed that moment in all of our careers. I want to say in season 2, episode 8, if I'm not, is it? Something I don't know. I think so. Yeah.
You tell me. You said it like you knew it, man. Hey, look. You're like, I believe it's minute 15.
I don't know.
Season 2, episode 8.
Scene 34, frame 34. And Xolo got a chance to play King Tech. Tech really wanted you, Carmelita's son, to play him. Mm-hmm. And it's still surreal to this moment to see you playing King Tech because at 21, minus the beard, with some of the beard.
Yeah, they got me in the little pencil. This dog right here.
Yeah, with the little goatee.
Tech. I mean, you know what he looked like. He had the glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all kind of y'all favored. Mm-hmm. And about the size too, y'all favored, and so it worked out. So I'm gonna play that scene real quick.
Oh snap!
Of you being King Tech and the other young man who played me.
Yeah.
You remember his name?
I don't remember his name, but I will say I feel like it's more often than not the casting team just is like, all right, this is the guy, but you actually got to.
Yeah,
you chose the guy.
Well, yeah, we chose the people. I say, hey, man, give that kid a chance, man, and here it is. Let's play a clip of it.
Okay. Check 1 2 1 2. You're tuned into the world famous Wake Up Show. I'm DJ King Tech, and I'm Sway. We're coming at you live, broadcasting from 106.1 KMEL, San Francisco Bay Area. Somebody listen to this brand new Wu-Tang Clan. You ain't heard that, Sway. Quit playing, you know I did.
Yo, we got a call in line too.
Okay, we got a call, I guess. We didn't even know we was taking calls right now. Yeah, we moving up, baby. We taking calls now. You're live, all right. Who we listening to? Who is this?
Yo, what up, Bay Area? This is the RZA speaking.
Oh, damn, we got the RZA.
No, mommy, I'm telling you,
There you go, man. Full circle moment.
That was amazing.
Yeah, we just got to see them in concert over at the Hollywood Bowl last week.
So before you go, I need to know, how deep does your hip hop knowledge run?
Hey, shoot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I mean, dude, my both of my parents. I mean, you know my mom.
I know. Yeah.
I've seen so many. I love hip hop. I love jazz. I love music. I've seen so many freestyles happen where I look in the background and I'm like, why is my mom there? I'm like, what is she doing in the background? I'm like, and then I show her. I'm like, Mom, you never told me this. She's like, whatever.
Yeah.
She plays it too cool. But I mean, I love hip hop. I think more recently I've kind of diversified in the music that I'm into. But yeah, quiz me, ask me what my
his mother is in it's a famous video clip of Biggie. Yeah. Notorious B.I.G. Freestyling on our show, the world famous Wake Up Show, and you'll see a woman that kind of walks by Biggie and kind of straightens up the microphone. She was adjusting. Carmelita's always had to adjust people's audio and stuff, and doing that, and she walks out the scene. So if you go on YouTube right now,
she's in that.
You see his mom standing next to the late great Notorious B.I.G.
I think that was like one of the last.
That was his last. That was the last interview, last freestyle he ever done live on radio, and your mom was there. With that said, do you have a favorite Biggie album?
I'm gonna be honest. A favorite Biggie album
or Biggie song?
Hypnotize is one of my favorites.
Okay.
Kick Down the Door.
Okay, damn. Okay. Okay. Stops. You good? You good? Okay, you good.
Those two.
You're about to show off.
But I don't know. I'm unfortunate. Sadly to say, I don't know.
You're 21.
Okay.
He's been gone longer than you've been alive. That was fine. That was fine. Are you familiar with Duck Down Records?
Down Records. I am not.
Duck Down Records.
Duck Down Records. Oh, yeah. My mom. We have, I think she has a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
A Duck Down, jumpsuit.
Merch.
Yeah.
That's Buckshot, Sean P, Smith & Wesson, all of those guys.
Boot Camp
Click, right? Who from the 90s era music that you tend to gravitate towards more?
Tribe is 90s, right?
Tribe Called Quest.
For sure.
Tribe, Busta.
Yeah.
90s. Let me think. Who else? Is Redman?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Damn.
And 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all.
Depends on
Okay,
where
they start.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's crazy that you know the history.
You want to hit him with one? Heather, go ahead.
I'm actually was gonna go in a different direction. Are you a Rams fan?
A Rams fan?
Yeah.
I'm not a football guy, honestly.
At
At all.
No Raiders, nothing.
I couldn't tell you a position.
So what sports do you like?
Baseball. I like baseball.
Wow.
And I like tennis too. It's a bit.
I'm
of
not
an
mad
odd
at that.
one. Yeah.
I'm not
So
mad.
what's your baseball team?
The Dodgers.
Oh, okay.
That's
so
the
that
only
was
team there is.
discussed.
We had a debate this morning. That's why I'm asking. Because I told him there's no real Rams fans out there.
Okay.
Sway's Raiders, obviously, being from the
Yeah,
Bay.
you know what it is.
Las Vegas, though, whatever that means. So you were talking about, I was just wondering, you know what, but okay, go Dodgers.
But I will say I did go to the Super Bowl game when they won. That was really a unique experience. That was my first football game ever.
What?
And the Los Angeles Rams won. And I was like, that's my team. That's my right, guys? We're all conjoined in celebration
We're
right
from
now
LA.
for the team that we love, right?
Yeah. Okay, last question.
Okay.
Clippers or Lakers?
Really, Sway? Or Warriors?
Oh, hey, I don't care if he likes the Warriors or not. We're still the champs.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
we are still the champs. Okay.
He
said baseball or tennis.
Okay,
baseball or
Clippers,
tennis.
Warriors, or Lakers? They've all Cali teams.
Okay. I guess I would say the Lakers.
That's good.
Okay.
I'm kicking him out the room now.
Hey, nephew, it's time to go. But thank you, brother. Nah. But, man, congratulations. We didn't even get a chance to talk about Blue Beetle. I'm excited for that show. I'm excited for that film. How did you get it?
It was a lot of meetings and stuff. It happened over the pandemic. A lot of the work behind the scenes and talking to everyone involved. But it was the news was broken to me over a dinner. They got together. I thought my meeting was with one person, and I got to the dinner table, and everyone from the movie was there. And they were like, "Hey, do you want to do this part?" And then I started crying.
You started crying.
Yeah,
You literally started crying?
Yeah.
Because you understood the magnitude of playing this character?
Well, I mean, I got punked. I was really scared because I was like, this is not what I had, like, I feel like when it comes to these important meetings, I have an emotional like a readiness that I come into the meeting with, and if anything gets thrown off, I'm like, oh my gosh, this was not part of the plan.
Right.
And this was as far away from the plan as I was supposed to meet with one person, a general meeting, get to know, and I see the director, the writer, the producers, the head of DC Films, and they're like, hey, and then I just started crying because I was like, this is
it.
That's amazing.
Come on, right?
That's great for you. It's okay to cry.
Xolo's
That's
gonna
good.
play Blue Beetle, man. That's incredible, man.
Thank you.
Nephew, I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you.
You're an amazing individual.
Thank you.
You're amazing on your own, too. But you do have amazing parents.
There we go. That'll be the slogan.
Tell your father, send my love to your dad, too, okay? And, of course, your mom, man.
Yeah.
Xolo, I'm proud
Yeah.
of you, man.
Thank you,
All right,
you.
give this man a big round of applause.
And next time I come in, when we do press for Blue Beetle, I'll get at least a 3 fingers of death.
Yeah, man. Otherwise,
fingers of-
man, I'm going to have to pull Uncle Rank on that one,
Okay,
bro.
perfect.
All right? Okay, next time.